What's up, survivors? My name is Cap, the Everyday Gamer, and welcome back to another 7 Days to Die tutorial. Now, this isn't necessarily a day 1 tutorial because of the things I'm going to show you aren't generally something you can accomplish on day 1 unless you get really lucky. Now, keep in mind that this is done in Alpha 10.4, so if something changes down the road and it's no longer working, that is why. Also, if you enjoy the video, be sure to leave a like on it. Maybe leave me a comment, and hope you guys enjoy what I show you guys today. So what I'm going to show you today is how to make a forge, how to find clay, and how to make your first molds. Now, there are 2 ways to find clay. If you are lucky enough that you've found a shovel in all of your scrounging around, or if you found a pickaxe, then you're in luck. All you have to do is find a river. Anywhere there's a river. It doesn't really work around lakes and little ponds, but it needs to be a river, and you'll look for this discolored dirt right here. This kind of orangish brown color, a little bit different color than the sand there. And all you'll have to do is just dig it up. Now, I don't know for certain if it works with something like a reinforced club like this or your axe. I don't know for certain if you could break through it. You might be able to after enough time, but I don't know for certain. So all you have to do is just break open one block of this clay bed here, open it up, and it'll give you a clay pile. Put this in here and it gives you 9 clay lumps. Now, this is probably the easiest and the fastest way to get it, get a lot of clay if you for some reason happen to have a shovel or a pickaxe. If you haven't found a shovel yet and you can't make one yet because you can't make iron ingots, all you need to have is a couple ears of corn. Put a couple pieces of corn in like this, it'll give you some corn meal. Go and craft this real quick. Okay, now that you have your corn meal, all I have to do is just put a couple over here, a couple bottles of water, and it'll actually give you some clay this way. And so it takes a little bit more resources, and it still requires a little bit of luck because you can't make a shovel yet until you already have a forge and have an iron mold, and so you won't be able to dig up the clay, but you can't make cornmeal unless you happen to get lucky and find it, or you happen to find some ears of corn. So those are the 2 ways you can go about getting clay. Now I'll show you how to make an actual forge. Okay, first things first, before you can make a forge, you have to be able to have found this book right here. This is the Forge Ahead book. You can find them everywhere. They're pretty common. You basically just search through houses, look on the bookshelves like this one right out here, and you're bound to find one, and then you just right-click it, and it will show you that you know how to make it now. After that, to make a forge, it's pretty simple. You need a bunch of small stones and a short iron pipe. Put them into the shape of a U, one here in the middle, and one iron pipe out here to the side, and this will allow you to craft a forge. Okay, now we have our forge actually created here. Now, one of the best tips I can give you about where to place your forge is somewhere other than where you are currently living here, because things like campfires and using your forge to make different metals or cook different foods and stuff put off a heat, basically heat and a smell generally. I mean, it's not an actual smell, but it's kind of a heat parameter, and enough of it builds up and you start attracting spider zombies. Spider zombies call on their buddies, and after enough time you get hordes showing up there. So if you have an opportunity and you have a house that you're wanting to call home, look and see if across the street there might be another house over there, or build your own quick little house out of stones and put your forge in there by itself. That way it'll be attracted to them and not your actual house. Okay, so you place it in here. Now, in a general forge, you open it up here and you'll have a spot over here for your molds, and then you'll have different levels of fuel here. Wood burns really easily, and it's obviously easy to find. If you happen to find some coal, then you're in luck because it burns the longest, but general sticks, one stick will let it burn for about 4 seconds, but you can put a few of them in there. And now I'll show you how to make a few of the molds. Alrighty, one of the first molds you're going to want to make, and you're going to use these lumps of clay here that you collected from earlier, is going to be the iron ingot mold, because iron ingots will allow you to make so many other things, tools and weapons and equipment. So basically you just need to place them in a straight U shape like this, and this will allow you to make an iron ingot mold. Now you go into your forge and put your mold in right over here. Put a little bit of fuel in place to kind of get it cooking. You can see how far it cooks it up there. And then what you can do is you put your scrap iron in here, and it'll start cooking automatically here. And it kind of burns through its weight. And this will allow you to start making iron ingots, like I said, so you can make that shovel, you can make a pickaxe, or you can make an iron reinforced club, or weapon molds once you finally start getting all of those. Okay, so the iron ingot mold that you just made is probably one of the more important ones you're going to have out there to make in the very beginning here, but there are a lot of different molds you can make here. Just type in mold into the search block, you'll see you can make a cement mold, and this will allow you to be able to make cement for reinforcing your blocks here. You can make jar molds once you finally get the necessary stuff. You'll have to use sand for that and allow you to actually create jars, basically. You can make nails. There's all the different gun pieces that you can make here. Brass ingots, lead ingots, tungsten ingots. They are all basically the same shape. They're just kind of moved up and down the crafting pattern here as to which one you want to make. And each one of those work just like the iron ingot mold does. You just put in your scrap brass or your scrap tungsten and things like that, and it'll give you your iron ingots. See, you don't get a whole lot. I think I put in, 6 or 7 in there, and it gave me 1 iron ingot. The return rate for how much scrap you put in there versus how many ingots you get at is relatively low. But at least it's something here, because you can break down almost anything into scrap metal. So anyway, I hope that helps you guys out. If you have any questions, definitely leave them in the comments below, and I'll answer them the best I can. And hopefully this at least gets you started on getting some better weapons, some better tools, reinforce your base a little bit better, and just kind of start surviving a little bit more. So thank you guys for all the support. You guys have a good one, and I'll catch you later.